Hello guys, welcome to my first Q&A video. It only took a year. Initially, this was intended for my first year anniversary last year. But now we are coming up to my second year anniversary. So I had originally started filming this in my room when I first tried to film this last year in my room so that we can have like a nice beautiful background. And while I was filming, the power just kept shutting off over and over. And I, had to keep refilming. And, since I was filming in my room, I didn't have my PC or anything with me. So I was recording everything on my memory card and my camera. And apparently around that time, we were going through, I guess, a heat wave in Florida. We were experiencing power outages because of the heat, which I don't think we've ever really experienced, or at least I didn't know about. So yeah, I gave up filming that day, and it took a lot of effort getting my whole setup in my room because I film in the living room area. So getting my lighting, my camera set up, and having the battery so that I can have constant power and record nonstop. It was just a lot, and I gave up. And then I was so focused on, putting out content and playing all the games and everything that I just became so busy with that, and I never had the time to sit down and record my Q&A. And, personal stuff also happened. My family member passed away. Family members got sick. I was in the hospital. So a lot was going on. But at least I am doing my Q&A video now. Better late than never. I had always planned to do this. I never forgot about it. But I am hoping I can get this out before my 2-year anniversary on May 19th, but I've actually been quite busy setting up for my live stream, my first time live stream. So I am recording this, but I'm also working on setting up everything for the live stream. So we shall see. It's a good possibility that this will be out after my first live stream. If that is the case, then for those of you who have joined me on my live stream, thank you so much. And thank you everyone, seriously, everyone who has supported me. I have just been pleasantly surprised when I started this YouTube channel. I didn't realize how much I would love doing this and how much fun and joy I would get out of, making content for you guys, playing video games and all of that, and sharing my passion for games with you guys. So it has been such a joy to do this. Yeah, when I first started, I was just, really not expecting to really grow at all and to have this amazing community, which I'm so grateful for. But I never expected that when I first started my channel. I just thought like, oh, I'll share my passion for gaming and maybe get a few subscribers, but I'm just so thankful for the growth that I have made, all thanks to you guys, and I'm so excited to continue growing with you all. So yes, once I do my first live stream, I would love to continue doing it weekly. So at least once a week, I would love to chill out with you guys and live stream. So that is the goal. That's why I've been so focused on trying to set it up. It has always been a goal to live stream since I started my channel, but I did want to grow my community on YouTube first. Yes, now I'm just excited to chill out with you guys, chat with you all, connect with you. So yes, I'm sure it's going to be, a learning experience. I'm going to continue learning as I go, just as I continue learning when it comes to recording. But yes, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience when it comes to my Q&A video. I know some of you have been looking forward to it. I'm so sorry it took a year for me to get to it, but I really hope you guys enjoy and you get to learn a little bit more about me. So I will post the questions up for you here. as I go along, and I guess we should get started. So, first question we have from JayJustGames. Congrats, what are some of your favorite PS5, PS4 games? What was your first gaming console? Okay, so far, my absolute favorite games for PS5 and I guess PS4. Okay, so first of all, I've said this many times, but for those of you who are new or who don't know, my first gaming consoles were the PS1. I did have the PS2, but I never had the PS3 or 4. So from PS2, I jumped straight to PS5 because I did have a long period where I wasn't gaming and life just took over. So about 10 or so years I wasn't gaming, so that's where the PS2 to the PS5 jump came from. But actually, no, I don't think the PS1 was my first gaming console. I think it was probably Sega Genesis when I was either in elementary or middle school. I don't remember. My mom bought it for me, so you know, all the classic Disney games like Lion King, Aladdin, I played on there. I do remember I had the Game Boy, but definitely Sega, I think, was the first one. Yes, I just became such a fan of PlayStation games, so I did have the PS1, the PS2, I had a PSP as well, and then now I have the PS5 and the PlayStation Portal. But my favorite games, let's see, I love Final Fantasy 16. That's probably my ultimate favorite game. The emotions that that game conjures up in me, the music, the characters, Clive. Clive. Sorry, there is a fly and there's also a mosquito flying around here, so you'll probably see them around. But yes, my husband Clive. The combat, I also love the combat of Final Fantasy 16. I know that's not a popular opinion. I know many Final Fantasy fans are huge on the turn-based combat, but Final Fantasy 16 combat I absolutely loved it. The NPCs were great. I loved listening to the NPCs. So yes, Final Fantasy 16 I absolutely love. One of my all-time favorite games. I also love Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I am going to play for my live stream, my first live stream. So I'm going to play it on NG Plus Master Difficulty to get that Platinum Trophy. But yes, that game, it just represents me, you know? Just everything about the game. Do not be fooled by its cuteness. It is quite a challenging game, but I just love the story. I'm a very spiritual person, so you know the things that I'm very interested in. Avatar, The Last Airbender, you know, they all share these themes of the spiritual connection to nature, to each other, wanting to heal and keep balance with nature, and of course the spiritual, yes, the spiritual aspect. I absolutely love about Kena. When I first saw the trailer for Kena during the PS5 reveal showcase, I was like, yes, I need the PS5. I need to play this game. And I absolutely loved it. The music is incredible as well. And it's also inspired by, you know, Indonesian and Southeast Asian culture. I am mixed Malaysian, and Malaysian and Indonesian cultures are quite similar. So I just love, you know, the representation, especially Southeast Asian representation. We don't get that often. That is another game I really loved. I love Greece. Greece was the first game I played on this channel, so I absolutely love Greece. And Neva. Neva just, oh my gosh, Neva destroyed me. So yes, those were some of my favorite games. Oh, and of course Avatar. I love Avatar. Oh my gosh, I wish more people played it. I love Avatar. I would love to do a co-op episode of Avatar. I usually don't do multiplayer games. I'm more of a solo gamer, and I've never done co-op before, but I think it would be so fun to do that. I'm trying to get my cousin, you know, to do co-op together, but he needs to get his little setup going. But yes, I would love to do an episode of co-op on Avatar. And also, I started Stellar Blade recently. I'm only maybe 2 or 3 hours in, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. You guys will get to watch me, you know, fangirl on Eve. Absolutely love the outfits too. So yes, those are my favorite games and my first console, the Sega. So thank you, Jay, for the question. So next question, King Soul. Congratulations, you've done so much in such a small amount of time. How did you get into gaming and how did you get into Final Fantasy? How did I get into gaming? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I was such a wee little child when I got into gaming. I think because my mom bought me the Sega, that's what got me into gaming. So I played a lot of Sega. And then my friend, my next door neighbor, in my childhood home had a Nintendo 64, so we would play together all the time, Mario Kart. Okay, I'm from the generation, I'm a millennial, so I'm the generation that had all the PC games, like, what was the game? I think it's like a space arcade. There was the, you know, the pinball space arcade game. I don't remember the name. I used to play the solitaire games, Pac-Man, Tetris. So all those, you know, old school games I used to play back in like elementary school. Yeah, so I think those are the first games I started playing. Completely forgot about those games before I got into console. The PS1 and PS2 really got me into gaming. The Kingdom Hearts series, oh man, Kingdom Hearts was like ahead of its time. When I first played it, I was like, oh, the combat, I love the action combat in Kingdom Hearts. I think that's how I got into gaming. I was very little. It's really hard to remember exactly, but I've always been a gamer. And how did I get into Final Fantasy? Actually, my first introduction to Final Fantasy, I've said this in my playthrough of Remake. My first introduction was through a PS1 fighting game called Airgaze. That's, yes, the characters in Airgaze. I loved Tifa. I loved fighting as Tifa in Airgaze, and Cloud and Yuffie. I didn't even realize they were Final Fantasy characters, but I used to have pictures of, you know, the sketches of Airgaze, like the art for the characters on my sketchbook and all of that, my notebooks, school notebooks. And then Kingdom Hearts as well. I remember they showed up. And then before I even started playing Final Fantasy, I was introduced to the music. I don't know where I first heard the music for Final Fantasy, but I remember I was trying to teach myself how to play the piano, and I guess I was looking for music and I came across the Final Fantasy piano collections. Oh, and I was such a huge fan of Final Fantasy music since then. Since I remember, definitely since middle school. I don't remember if I heard it in elementary school, but definitely in middle school. I was trying to teach myself some songs, and I just discovered a whole new world with the Final Fantasy piano collections. I was first and foremost a fan of the music for Final Fantasy. And then the first Final Fantasy game I played was 10-2. You know, I didn't really know of many of the Final Fantasy games were connected, so I, you know, didn't know about Final Fantasy X. But I was so drawn to 10-2 because of the, you know, the girl trio. And I absolutely love the intro for 10-2. The little concert, the girl concert. I had dabbled in a couple of Final Fantasy games here and there, but I never completed them. So 10-2 was my first one. And I remember I had, on my PSP, I had Crisis Core. I played a little bit of that. And I know, you know, in my first playthrough of Remake, some of you got on my case about playing Crisis Core. I never finished Crisis Core. I was pretty much only a couple of hours in on my PSP. And as I said, I didn't know that some of the games were connected to other games. So I didn't know that Crisis Core, you had to play Final Fantasy VII to really know what was going on in Crisis Core. I was just playing Crisis Core. But yes, I never finished it. I don't know the story of Zack, really. So Final Fantasy XVI was truly the first Final Fantasy game that I ever completed. So yeah. Alrighty, next question. Reacts Gaymergirls. Oh, I remember you. Early congrats, Sage, for the Q&A. How did you start your life as a gamer making trades? Did you learn on your own or follow tutorials? In short, tell us about your beginnings in Twitch and so. Okay, so for many years, I wanted to, you know, get into the whole streaming world, but I was always very shy and very nervous to put myself out there on the internet. You know, it was during my hiatus, the 10 years or so when I wasn't gaming. I was like, oh, I would love to build my own PC and start a channel where I game. But yes, I've always been a console gamer, not so much a PC gamer, but I would still love to build a PC. But yes, I finally decided 2 years ago to just go for it, you know? To just go for it, start the channel, see where it goes. You never know. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep up with it or anything. I had never used Twitch before. I had actually never heard of Twitch. I was always on YouTube. But when I finally decided to just go for it and start the channel, yes, this was, you know, unknown territory. I really had no idea what I was doing. So I did a ton of research, watched many tutorial videos on YouTube on how to do everything. So yes, it was a lot. It was a lot to figure out, a lot of trial and error, and I had to learn how to use OBS and everything. So it was maybe a month or two of learning everything and figuring out everything, making sure all the connections work before I finally started making videos. But yes, I'm only starting on Twitch this year on my first live stream, so I really have been focusing on YouTube. So Twitch will be a new thing to learn. Actually, live streaming in general, I'm sure it's not going to be perfect right off the bat, so I will continue to learn. So yes, that's where I started with my whole, I guess, gaming journey. But thank you, Reacts Gaymergirls, for, you know, featuring me in your channel several times. I do watch it. I do watch the videos when I can. So, next question, JC Apple Onion. I love your name. Congratulations, thank you for the Q&A. How are you, and how's life ever since you started streaming? I am doing much better now. A lot has been going on the past several months, past year, since last year. Since starting my streaming, you know, I lived a very quiet life before starting my streaming. I had deleted all of my social media besides YouTube. I have a different YouTube account, my personal YouTube account. But yes, I deleted all of my social media for over a year before starting my channel. And then I started my channel, and I remember several people kept asking me if I had an Instagram or if I had a Discord or if I had Twitch and all of that. Yes, I try to keep up with all the social media, and I now have all of the social media accounts, but I cannot keep up with it. And I try to stay active, but I try not to let social media take over my life. So it was very peaceful when I didn't have it, but I do love connecting with all of you. But besides that, you know, I was doing my photography stuff. I do have a photography business and I also work for someone else. So I was doing that a lot, doing photo shoots and stuff. Now that's kind of slowed down a bit and I pretty much focus more on my content creation on my YouTube. Pretty much since starting my channel, I spend so many hours, editing my videos, trying to get everything up, recording and all of that, because I enjoy it so much. So I just want to keep doing it. Although, I tend to focus too much on doing that and I just forget to take breaks sometimes. But I do need to venture off and get back to some of my hobbies. I haven't done a lot of my hobbies, and this year my goal was to get back to some of my older hobbies. So I haven't been so successful in that recently, but the year is still young, even though we're almost halfway into the year. So I really do need to get back into my hobbies. But yes, I am doing so much better now. Thank you for asking. It has been quite challenging with, personal life, a lot of things that have been going on. But yes, I appreciate all of your support. All of you have been so kind to me, so thank you. So, Joel the King, what's your ethnicity? I am mixed with a ton of things. I honestly don't feel like I belong anywhere. When it comes to my ethnicity, I'm just mixed with so much. Both of my parents are also mixed. So usually when people ask what my ethnicity are, I just give them the basics. But if you were to see, my family tree, it's just all over the world. I am mixed, Chinese, Malaysian, Indian, Cuban, Filipino. I am indigenous as well, African, there's some European in there as well. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And I know a lot of people ask me if I am Native American. I do have some percentage, not enough, so I really don't, tell people that I am Native American. And I honestly don't know what tribe the percentage is, but I'm also indigenous from other countries, so I do have African and Malaysian, specifically Sabah in Malaysia, from the Kadazan tribe, and some other indigenous tribes that I don't know of. But yes, I am mixed with a whole lot of beautiful cultures. I'm sure there's more. I have to look at my family tree. I don't remember everything. So usually when people ask me, I basically just say that I'm Malaysian and Cuban. But honestly, it's way more than that. So yes. dstroxp. I am not sure if that's how you say your username. What's some of your favorite non-gaming activities? Ooh. See, this is dangerous. I'm a Gemini. I have so many hobbies and interests, and I don't have enough time to do them all. So I go through a cycle. I'll focus on a few hobbies, and then I'll get tired of them, and then I'll go to something else, and then I'll get tired of them, then I'll go to something else, and then it's just a cycle. I go back and forth, I love reading, I love dancing. Actually, fun fact, I had started a YouTube channel back when I was in high school, I think. It was a dancing channel. It was a dancing channel. I was, learning a lot of choreography. I love learning choreography. So I would learn choreography from a lot of dancers on YouTube, as well as K-pop choreography. Yeah, the channel didn't last very long. I also was self-taught belly dance. I loved belly dancing back in high school. I don't do dancing as much now, but yes, I'm pretty much a self-taught dancer. I did take ballet jazz and all that when I was in middle school. And I also had a booktube, so a book YouTube channel, you know, doing all the reading and stuff, but that also didn't last very long. I'm just not a fast enough reader compared to a lot of the booktubers out there, and I just couldn't keep up with, you know, all the books. So that didn't last very long. So yeah, those were 2 failed channels. Those are 2 failed channels. I'm also an artist, so I do photography, painting, drawing. I actually went to art school from like elementary all the way to high school, and then I took photography in college. But yeah, after high school, I just got so sick of art that I took a break for many years, like over 5 years. So I didn't pick up a pencil or a paintbrush or anything, but I'm slowly getting back into art, you know, drawing and painting again. I would love to share some of that with you, actually. And what else do I like to do? I love to teach myself instruments. I love music. So yes, I'm teaching myself piano and guitar, although I'm not consistent enough. Because, as I said, I have so many hobbies that I just can't keep up with. I love to cook. I love to bake. Man, I have so many hobbies. I'd like to get back into crocheting. That was one of my goals this year, was to get back into crocheting. I'd love to learn how to sew. Oh, I'm also teaching myself the Native American flute to go along with the instruments. Anything else? There's plenty of hobbies and activities that I like to do. I also have a longboard. I tried to learn how to roller skate because I would love to do, you know, the dancing roller skate, like those skaters that can dance. Oh, that would be so cool. I can barely skate though. I don't practice enough to do it. But I do love to longboard as well. But yes, that, from the top of my head, those are some of the activities I like to do as well, besides gaming. So Roderick, what has been the easiest and hardest game that you've played on the channel so far? Also, what's your favorite and least favorite game on the channel so far? Easiest game would probably be Greece, I think. Yes, pretty much Greece, you don't have to worry about dying or combat, if I remember correctly. Hardest game currently, I think it is Returnal, which I'm only playing for my channel members. But I do plan to, you know, create a highlight video for everyone to watch so you guys can see, you know, all the fun moments in Returnal. What else have I played for the channel? I do believe, you know, once I start streaming, I'm going to play Kena Bridge of Spirits on the hardest difficulty. I do remember when I first played the game, I played it back in 2022. It was difficult on the normal level. Now that was also when I just got back into gaming after, you know, so many years of not gaming, but I'm sure once I start streaming, that will probably be the hardest game that I ever play on this channel. One day, I would love to play, you know, some of the more Souls-like games. I know those tend to be much more difficult. Actually, if we're gonna count demos, Lies of P was probably the hardest game I played, the demo. I couldn't even get past the first boss, so I guess we can consider that the hardest game. My favorite game, I told you this, was Final Fantasy 16. I tried to get you to play it. I know you played it for a bit, and I think quit after some moment. I'm trying to get you to get back to playing it. You gotta finish it, dude. It's such a great game. But yes, Final Fantasy 16 is definitely my favorite game. My least favorite game, I don't know if I have a least favorite game. Actually, you know, I can't even remember the games that I've played. Let me get back to my channel and see what I've played. Okay, I guess my least favorite game would be the short game that I played, Silent Hill. Silent Hill, The Short Message. That would probably be my least favorite game out of everything that I played. It had a great chasing scene. I hate chase segments, you know, when the monsters or whatever it is that's trying to just capture you. I hate those. Those freak me out. I didn't really find it scary. It was just the chasing, and I just felt like I was stuck for the longest. I remember I was filming it at night because I have insomnia, so I'm up at night. So while everyone was sleeping, I was recording. And I remember the last few chase segments or chase portions of that game took me so long that by the time I finished, the sun was already rising, and I was afraid that, you know, my family members were going to start waking up and I wouldn't be able to finish filming. So that is probably my least favorite. Thank you, Roderick. So great to have you. I know you came into my channel during my Spider-Man playthrough. Next is Slowmowo. Slowmowo. What is the feature you really dislike in games? Mine is turn-based combat. Same. Oh, same. I just cannot get into turn-based combat. I've tried many times. I know some of you have suggested some turn-based games like Dragon Quest and some other games. I've tried some of the Final Fantasy turn-based. I just can't get into turn-based combat. I get easily bored with turn-based combat, which is why I prefer action. I prefer action, hack and slash combat, and all of that jazz. But when it comes to like pure turn-based combat, I just feel like it's like you're always waiting for the enemy to attack, and it's like you're waiting for your turn, and it just doesn't stimulate my brain enough. And I've tried, which is why games like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy Remake is fine for me, because it does incorporate action into it, so there is a good balance for me. Another thing I don't like are timed trials. Anything timed, I am not a fan of. It just stresses me out. It stresses me out, and I just get anxious, I freak out, and then I forget how to play. I also don't like if there's not a map, because I love exploring, but I easily get lost. So I always need a map. I need something to help me, you know, navigate around and not get lost. But if there's no map, it's okay. Mostly those two, turn-based and time-based things I don't like. So yes, I'm so happy to learn of another person who dislikes turn-based as much as I do. Jenny Ross, I'm assuming is how you say your username. Favorite The Quarry character? You guys should know. I love Dylan. He's my favorite. I just love his humor. I understand his humor, you know? And I just love the lighthearted comedy that he brought to the game. So he made The Quarry very enjoyable. Yes, Dylan is great. I loved him. Next question, if you could travel to your favorite place in the world, where would it be? Or what is your favorite food? And also, you look very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a hard question. There are so many places I would love to travel to. So many places. I can name some of my favorite places I'd like to go to. I'd love to go to Taiwan. I'd like to go to Nepal, India. I'd like to go to the UK, Ireland, Iceland, Norway, New Zealand, Australia. So many places, honestly. I really haven't traveled as much as I'd like. I did most of my traveling in the US. I've been to several states, and I've also been to, you know, Malaysia, and I studied abroad in China. I did go to Vietnam, and that's about it. But I have been to a few states here in the US, but internationally, I haven't gone to that many places. So yeah, there's just way too many locations I'd like to travel to, and it's really hard to just pick one. Yes, my favorite food, I love curry. Curry, all different types of curry. Oh, I just love curry. In general, Asian cuisine is one of my absolute favorites. So usually when I cook a lot of Asian foods. Yes, I love food, you know? I love food in general. I'm not very picky, so I love to eat. Okay, next question from Mike. All those gifts that are music albums, it's very clear this question needs to be asked. What instruments do you play? Okay, so I did answer this a bit in an earlier question, but I am self-taught. I pretty much started teaching myself piano back in middle school, high school era, but I don't stay consistent enough, which I wish I could. I wish I did. But yes, on and off, I teach myself the piano, the guitar, and the Native American flute. And I know basic sheet music. I can read, well, I can't read it. I know how to read sheet music, just the basics that I remember learning back in elementary school. So I really want to stay consistent with the piano because I would love to share, some of the songs that I learn on there for you guys, either on Instagram or make videos for it. So that would be awesome. The great thing about me is that I learn very quickly. So if I were to practice, I learn songs pretty quickly, or I can remember things really, really well. And yes, I pick up on things pretty fast, so that's good. So I just need to keep practicing, Carter Jones, I know I'm late, but what's your favorite game that you've played so far? As I've said, it's Final Fantasy 16. Also, I love how when you play a game like Until Dawn or The Quarry, you actually take it seriously and try to figure out what's happening. Oh, thank you. Okay, so for those of you who have watched plenty of my playthroughs, you would know that I am one of those gamers that really love to explore everything. I always have to look around, find collectibles. I'm pretty much not only a trophy hunter, but I'm also, I guess, somewhat of a completionist gamer. So I really do love to look around and find any clues or collectibles and take my time. But I am also, I've said this before, I'm also a huge horror fan and a thriller fan, especially thriller. I have a huge interest in psychology, and thrillers just really feed that part of my brain. It gives me that itch that I need. I don't know what the saying is, but I love watching thriller films and reading thriller books because I like to, piece together some of the clues and really figure out any twists or anything like that. So yes, whenever I watch films or read books of that genre, I just like to work things in my brain. And yes, I love doing that during Until Dawn and The Quarry, just finding all the clues and piecing together the story and everything. That just really gets my brain working, and I love that. So yes, I'm so happy you enjoyed it as well. Yes, I love that about those games. So I'm so happy you really enjoyed that. Thank you. tianjohn.gaming, on a technical note, how do you record your videos? Could you show us your setup? Do you save your recordings offline and upload them later, or do you only live stream and then publish them as videos? Also, what bitrate do you record in? Asking because I'm wondering how you are able to manage the huge amount of file sizes and seem to have technically flawless videos. I'm struggling with a lot of technical difficulties. Thank you in advance. Oh, I totally understand. Actually, as I've been setting up for my live stream, that's been a whole can of worms that I was not expecting. I've been having so many struggles in the technical aspect of streaming. It's like one thing after another was just going wrong, and I was just trying to figure out everything. But honestly, I watched a ton of videos on the best settings for recording and everything. I do record on OBS, so I record everything, and then I edit them in Premiere Pro and then post them on YouTube. I've never live streamed before, so I will be doing that this month. So hopefully that goes well. But as I said earlier, I am a photographer, so I do have a professional camera. I don't use a webcam, so that is why my camera, my webcam is in a higher quality. I do use a Sony A6400, I think it is. But for my photography, I use the Canon usually. And for my gameplay, I use the Elgato Game Capture HD60X, I think. For my bitrate, I'm currently recording now, but let me see what I'm recording at. Well, with the settings on OBS, I have it on constant QP, not on bitrate, not on constant bitrate. So constant QP at 16. Honestly, I think the best thing to do is to watch tutorials and find videos for the best recording settings, and that should help you out. But I do use OBS for my recording, and I'm also going to use it for live streaming. I've never live streamed before, so this will be my first time on my anniversary. But yes, I record first and I edit them and then post it on YouTube. But I'm so happy that the quality of my videos look good. And I wish you luck on all of your endeavors, and hope that, you know, all the technical stuff works out for you. Hollowollow, I love your name. What is your favorite game ever? Oh my gosh, so many of you have asked me. Yes, it is Final Fantasy 16, but I also absolutely love Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's another one of my top favorite games. I'm also a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, although I've only played 1 and 2, and I've played Birth by Sleep. I never got to play Kingdom Hearts 3 because I didn't have a PS3 or a PS4. And now there's talks of Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out soon, I think this year. So I think I probably, you know, on my own time, will probably play all the games from the beginning, if I can, to catch up so that I could be ready for Kingdom Hearts 4. That would be awesome. I know there was someone on YouTube that, you know, I was playing around and saying that it would be funny if I posted my full playthrough of all the Kingdom Hearts games. But, you know, with all the games that I'm playing right now, I don't think I would have time to really get into a Kingdom Hearts playthrough, like to record and everything. So I may just play it on my own time and then play Kingdom Hearts 4 on the channel. So that would be exciting. No mundane vanities. I don't know if you've answered this, but what do you do for a living? How old are you? Sorry if it's too personal, just curious. Okay, so I'm a photographer. I do that for work. I mainly do work for someone else, but I also have a photography business. So yes, that is what I do for a living. How old am I? I'd love to know how old you guys think I am. But I'm in my 30s. I'm a millennial. I was born in the 1900s. So I do often get mistaken for being younger than I actually am. Sorry if I haven't been in focus. Yes, I guess it's the Asian genes. But I am in my 30s, and my birthday is coming up next month, June 11th. So Nixie has come to say hi. Say hi, baby. too much love, too much love. Yeah. Next question. Oh, congratulations. Well, my question is, you love cats and what favorite games? I love cats. Cats are my favorite. I love cats so much. Yes, I just love cuddling with cats. I love the sound of cats' meows. I don't know what it is, but the sound of their meowing, I just love, especially kittens. Oh, I love cats. And I hadn't had a cat in several years until I got Chestnut at the end of last year. So yes, I love cats. And I've already said plenty of times what my favorite game is. Next question, what would you recommend for someone wanting to start their own gaming channel, or any tips about YouTube or specifically gaming videos that you have? I would just go for it. Just start. You're always going to be learning. You're going to learn a ton while doing your channel, so don't worry about being perfect. Just be yourself. I remember when I first started, I was thinking that I would have to be, you know, super loud and truly exaggerate my emotions, but it just felt very weird for me. I did try that a couple times in some of those videos, and I cringe every time I watch that because that's not me, you know? It feels weird to really exaggerate. And I know, you know, for some streamers and some gamers that works for them and their audience enjoys that, but I'm definitely more of a chill, relaxed gamer. And, you know, occasionally I do get really excited while I'm gaming, but yes, just be authentic, be yourself, and the right people will find you. But definitely don't overthink it. Just start doing it, and people will see that passion in you. And yes, would love to follow your journey. But if you have, you know, any questions about how to get things going, I would definitely watch a ton of tutorials on YouTube. That's what I did. I watched, I don't know, hours of tutorials on YouTube, you know, how to make a gaming channel, you know, all the different things, how to get everything set up. So yes, I would do as much research as I can. Also balance, you know, playing the games that you want as well as games that you think your viewers would enjoy. I did have this problem starting off, feeling like I had to play all the new games that were coming out, and it's really hard to keep up with, and only playing games that I thought all of you would want to watch, which are also games that I wanted to play as well. But, you know, there are other games that I felt like I was more interested in at the time that I ended up putting on the back burner. So I guess finding that balance, you know, and of course, pace yourself. Do not overwork yourself. You will burn out, which I've done plenty of times. Especially if you get really excited and you're like, oh, I want to do more. Definitely pace yourself and take your time. Make sure to find the balance between, you know, doing YouTube and your personal life, you know. Make sure you just make time for, you know, your friends, your family, your hobbies, and all of that. I'm still trying to figure that out. But yes, whenever you do your thing, I wish you so much luck and just have fun with the journey. Next question, why do you slay so much? Thank you. Thank you. I truly wish I believed I slay that much, but thank you so much. You're so sweet. Giafe products. Oh my god, I have a few. Also, side note, your channel is so iconic. Hope it continues to grow. Thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Video game related questions like, what's your favorite game? What's the first game you played that made you realize you enjoy gaming? Since I already answered my favorite game, the game that made me realize I enjoyed gaming was probably Kingdom Hearts, I think. It was so long ago, but I remember playing Kingdom Hearts and I was just so in love with it. Oh, that was like a childhood memory. I just loved Kingdom Hearts. I also loved fighting games when I was younger. General questions like, what's your favorite food? Curry. As I said, curry and Asian cuisine is my favorite. Also, in your Quarry playthrough, you seem knowledgeable on tarot cards. Do you have a favorite major arcana or one that resonates with you the most? I love the High Priestess. I love the High Priestess and the Empress. I just, they just symbolize being in their divine feminine and just attracting abundance by just embodying their feminine essence, and the High Priestess having, the knowledge in her spirituality and all of that. And it's just the way that they hold themselves. Those are my favorite major arcana cards. I do have a huge collection of tarot and oracle cards. So thank you so much for that question. I love it. Most important question, do your chickens have names? And if they do, we must know them. They do not. We have so many chickens and they make so many babies, but we also have a chicken hawk. So we try not to get too attached to the chickens because, the chicken hawk goes crazy and they take our chickens, especially the babies. So we have lost plenty of chickens. I did have, if I remember, I'll try to, post a video or something 1 or 2 years ago. No, maybe more than that. I did have a group of 5 chicks that I saved because the mom abandoned them. I came home after work one time and I heard them crying and I collected all of them and I raised them as my own. I had them in the house, and they became very attached to me. So they would follow me everywhere. But at some point, they got into their teenage years. My dad bought a chicken that was sick and put him together with my babies. And pretty much most of them, all of them, got sick because of this one chicken and also passed away. And only one survived out of that bunch. And I named her Hazelnut because of her color, the color of her feathers. She was like this brownish chestnut color. And yeah, she followed me everywhere. And she was always inside the house. And, as she got older, I would be outside with her. And, all the males would come after her, to do the deed. And she would freak out, she would run and fly towards me, to get away from them. And she would always land on my head. It was so cute. But yeah, she was very attached to me, my little Hazelnut. She was so cute. If I remember, I will try to post a picture of her or any videos of the 5 that I had raised, that I was raising as my own. So we have named a few others. Actually, my mom named some of them, but I don't remember their name, and I don't know if we still have them. Nicholas McMath, congratulations on the 1-year anniversary, now 2 years. My question is, what was your first video game? Honestly, I think my first video game was probably on my PC, the ones that I talked about earlier, like the old school Tetris and Pac-Man and Solitaire, the pinball. I think those were my first video games, but if we're talking console, it would probably be on the Sega. On the Sega. So the Sega, I had Aladdin, Lion King, and Sonic the Hedgehog. I honestly don't know what the first one I played was, but when I got onto the PS1, I think my first game was either Air Gaze Or there was a dancing game that I absolutely loved. What is it called? Bust a Groove. Oh, I loved Bust a Groove. I tried it. I played a, I think, demo, or I used to rent it from Blockbuster. And I always try to get my hands on a copy, but they were always sold out. Everywhere, like all the stores, Bust a Groove was always sold out. And my favorite character was Kitty N. She did like the jazz dancing. So yes, those were some of my first games on those consoles. Texan, congrats to Future Sage. Thank you. Nearing 5K subscribers. Now we are nearing 7,000. That's crazy. That's fantastic growth. Thank you. Haven't been here long, so I do have many questions to get to know you, but I will limit it to 2 just to keep it flowing. What are your favorite outdoor activities? And what never fails to make you smile or laugh? Favorite outdoor activities. I do love hiking. Don't do much hiking here in Florida since we don't really have areas to hike, but whenever my mom and I do go travel, we go to, you know, areas with mountains and all that. We love to hike. I also love to swim. Of course, I am a mermaid. I do love to swim. I don't like to be outside as much in Florida. My body cannot handle the heat very well, so once it gets hot here, I usually stay indoors. But if I lived in an area that's much cooler, I would definitely be outside more and be in nature, but I cannot handle the heat. I really hate the heat. If I get the chance, I definitely would move to another state. What never fails to make you smile or laugh? I absolutely love the sounds of nature. I don't know what it is, but it really brings a smile to my face, you know. As I said earlier in one of the questions, I love the sound of kittens meowing. I love the sound of birds when they're singing and chirping. I love the sound of water. And honestly, right now, my babies, Nixie and Chestnut, my doggy and my kitty, they bring so much joy to my life. I am so grateful to have them, and they always make me smile because they like to bother each other all the time. They are always play fighting and everything. And you know, in the morning, when I'm sleeping in bed, they will be playing around on the bed on top of me. And even though it's annoying while I'm sleeping, they just make me so happy, you know? I do have a video of them. I caught them while I was in bed, and I took a video while they were playing on top of me. So, yes, that is what I can think of. What brings a smile and laugh. What brings me joy. Yes, so those 2 little munchkins. riggamorrischan, who got you into making gaming videos, and how many chickens do you have? It's funny hearing them cluck sometimes in the background. You know, I really can't remember who got me into making gaming videos. I don't know if it was a specific person that made me want to start my channel, but it was just something. As I said before, I was in my gaming hiatus. I had just missed gaming so much that I thought it would be cool to, you know, build a PC and start a channel. But I think around the time I decided to start my channel 2 years ago, I started, you know, watching a bunch of gamers, and some of my favorite gamers are Snacksin, Miranda, the Mirandalorian. I love Mars, Julia TV, Castaclysm, and Anna Demetrio. Yeah, there's several gamers that I love. It's Java Chip. So yeah, those are some of my favorite gamers. It's funny, I know, you know, I edit so much of my chickens out of the videos because they make a ton of noise. And right here is the patio area outside. Sometimes they like to chill out in this area, And once one starts, they all start, and it's just a symphony of clucks. But yes, when I start live streaming, you guys will definitely be able to hear them since I won't be able to edit them out. Next question, congratulations, you deserve it so much, thank you. Do you have any tips for me on YouTube? Because I have a gaming channel, but I don't get subscribers. The same thing that I said in an earlier question, just be your authentic self. The right people will find you. Yeah, I always felt like I had to exaggerate my reactions and all of that, but it just didn't work for me. And I found a community that really enjoys chill gaming. So yeah, just be yourself. I would definitely stay consistent. It was my goal when I first started to, post one video every week, one video each week. That's where I started at, and I would play games that were fairly popular during the time, but also games that I really wanted to play myself. Communicate with your viewers, especially starting out, to build your community. I think when it comes to videos, your microphone is the most important. The audio, having people be able to hear you is pretty important, and then the quality of your videos. But yes, just, have fun with it. As long as you're enjoying yourself, people will recognize that and will love watching your passion. So those are my tips. I wish you so much luck on your channel. ppikuseru. How do you handle burnout, and do you sometimes play a smaller game alongside a bigger game to give yourself breaks of being overwhelmed by the bigger game, like exhaustion? Oh boy, I have had burnout a couple of times so far, a few times since starting my channel. I often do this a lot, even in my personal life. I get so passionate with something that I just want to keep doing it, and I don't take breaks, or I don't balance it with my personal life, with other things that I enjoy. I just want to keep doing more of it, and I lead myself to burnout. But yes, when I do burn out, I usually take a break from my channel, and that's when I just start focusing on myself, and I will just, sleep more, and just not do anything related to the channel when I'm burnt out. I'll listen to music more often, and I'll do some of my hobbies when I can. I'll do more reading and all of that. But yes, I definitely try to balance, shorter games, especially when I'm playing the longer games, like what I'm doing right now, because I know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a pretty massive game, and I'm also doing Stellar Blade as well. So I know both of those games will probably take a while, so I'm also trying to balance it by playing shorter games in the meantime. I try not to get burnt out, but I guess it's bound to happen every now and then. But when it does happen, I try to surround myself with my babies like Nixie and Chestnut, or being in nature. Also getting back into my spiritual practice and meditation and yoga, that helps a lot as well. Happy anniversary, Sage. Had exams, but I'm catching up on your quarry vids. The best reward. Aw, that's so sweet. Well, by the time I'm filming this, you've already done that. Which character in a game have you felt was most similar to you, and why? Keep doing what you do. You're so cool. Thank you. Oh, this is hard. What character in a game have you felt was most similar to you? Honestly, I feel like Kana. Kana from Kana Bridge of Spirits is most like me. Well, not only is she, a Southeast Asian character, she's also, how she holds herself. Especially when you first meet me, I'm an introvert. I'm very reserved. I'm usually quiet. And my natural speaking voice is actually very soft. Oftentimes, people say that they can't hear me because I do speak with a more calm voice, which is what I really admire in a lot of characters, especially in games like Joshua from Final Fantasy 16. His voice is very, soft and calm, and as well as Kana. But, since starting my YouTube channel, I felt like sometimes I have to project my voice, which is not very natural for me. So sometimes I feel like my voice is shaky. But yes, I'm a very spiritual person, and I am someone that always focuses on trying to help other people. If someone is struggling with something in their life, I love just being there for them and helping them through their struggles. And that is something that Kana does so well in the game. She helps these trapped spirits to cross over. She helps them through their emotions, their grief and the regret and the shame and all of them, to help them cross over into the afterlife. So yeah, in my personal life, people often tell me that they feel very safe around me, which is such an amazing compliment. They feel very safe to open up and talk to me, and I feel like I'm great at listening. I'm a great listener, and I am always very patient with people. So yes, I feel like that is a character in a game that I am most similar to. Yeah, thank you for the question. I have never thought of that. Final Fantasy Whitney, Gaymergirl. Hello, my love. Happy anniversary, beauty. I'm so proud of you. What is your favorite anime series and or movie? Oh my gosh. I used to watch so many anime when I was younger. I don't watch as much now. I also used to watch a ton of Asian dramas, mostly Taiwanese and Japanese dramas. But now I don't do it as much. I don't have as much time. But my favorite anime, of course, I love Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon. Another one is Your Lie in April. I taught myself a couple of songs from Your Lie in April on piano. Oh, the soundtrack for Your Lie in April is beautiful. I also like Noragami, Death Note. I like Death Note. There's one that's like at the tip of my head, tip of my tongue. It begins with a G. Oh, Tokyo Ghoul. I think that's another one. I also love Studio Ghibli. I don't know if it's Studio Ghibli or Studio Ghibli, but I do love, some of the movies, Princess Mononoke, some of the other classics. Oh, the names are not coming to me, but yes, those are my favorite anime. You should tell me what your favorites are. I know you share a couple of them on my Discord, but yes, please let me know what your favorites are. When it comes to movies, my favorite movies are Avatar, and Avatar The Way of Water. I love the Lord of the Rings franchise. I love Harry Potter. I love The Fountain. The Fountain is beautiful. I also liked Mother. Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. I know it's such a weird movie, but I actually really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed, what is it called? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? Everywhere, Everything, what? The movie with Michelle Yeoh. I don't have the greatest memory, so a lot of these, a lot of my favorite stuff is not coming to mind, so I do have to write them. I have to write them down so I don't forget. Next question. Sarah Snackson. I love you. Happy anniversary. What's your favorite thing about being a content creator? Oh my gosh. Doing what I love. Actually doing something that I truly enjoy, and of course growing a community and connecting with other gamers and everything. Yeah, that has definitely been my favorite. I would love to get to go to events, like gaming events, like you do, so like the gaming awards and all of that. Oh, that's such a goal of mine. And connecting with, the companies and the devs that create games. Yes, those are goals of mine, but definitely being able to do this, because I love it so much. My inner child is really thriving right now. So, thank you. And I love you, Sarah. I love you so much. Next question, mostly human. That's a great dress. Looking good in that picture. I don't remember what you were referring to, since this was taken last year in August. But thank you. Haven't been here for the full year, but thank you for all these months of entertainment. Hoping there will be many more. Thank you so much. You have been one of my longest members, and I am so grateful for your support. Thank you so much. Hard to think of a question though, but I'm loving the chicken question, so I'm going to lean into that. Not sure if you mentioned it before, but I love animals. Are there any other animals on the farm? I'd love to see some photos. We used to have a ton of animals here. This would be, for my family, this was like our little farm. We just had a bunch of pets. Now we really don't have as many. We do have the chickens, the dogs, and the cats. We also have some wild pigeons. They're not really pets, but we still feed them. And that's about it now. Before, we used to have a snake, a boa constrictor. We used to have horses. We started off with 2 when we first moved here. But when we first moved here, we also had these flowers that I guess were poisonous for the horse, and one of them just kept eating the flowers, so we had to put him to sleep. And we did have another horse. His name was Stitch, and we had him. He passed away a couple of years ago, actually. He was very old. And of course, during July 4th, with all the fireworks around here, he was just so scared, running around in the yard. And next morning, we found him laying on the ground, and he couldn't get back up. So I'm so sorry. I'm telling you about the death of our horses. I'm sorry. But yes, we also had a turkey. We've had geese and ducks. We did have a ram, and the ram used to be friends with our horse. We also used to have parrots. And I also had a potbelly pig. Potbelly pig. My bus driver from high school gave me the pig. And I think I told you, his name was Hamsolo. I believe it was you. Yeah, because your username is Hamsolo. So yes, our little potbelly pig, his name was Hamsolo. My mom gave him that name. So do we have any other animals? I don't think so. Those were all the animals we've had here, but now we don't have as many. We have had plenty of dogs and cats. But yeah, I would need to find some pictures. So I will try to post some if I can. So yes, this is something I posted on my Twitter. I love how some of the questions I received from my Q&A were about the chickens and animals on the farm. Y'all cracked me up. It was so funny. I even showed my mom some of the questions, and she was laughing too. So I'm actually interested in knowing about those too. I have a good friend that I met through my business. I make nail polish and jewelry that has chickens. They're more like pets, with the eggs being a bonus. So I'd be curious if you were the same way, or if you are on a farm, if they're just part of that. So honestly, our animals were purely just as pets. You know, our horse was decoration in the yard. But yes, the chickens, the eggs are a huge bonus. We don't kill or eat any of our pets because, yeah, my family wanted the whole farm experience, so we had all the animals. And we have a big enough yard for the animals, so yeah. Now, these questions were from Instagram. Will you make a video about being a photographer and doing film photography? Okay, so at the beginning of this year, I decided to start a new channel because I believe you're probably the same person that has asked me about my photography during my Spider-Man playthrough, right? So I did start a new channel. This was something that I talked about in one of my this was something that I talked about in one of my gift unboxing videos. It was a surprise that I had. I started a new channel that I was going to post cozy vlogs specifically. I haven't posted on it yet. I haven't really had time to do that. But I would love to, you know, post cozy vlogs of my day-to-day, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of vlogs I want to post. I don't know if I'll make it silent vlogs with just music, and if I want to say anything, I'll type it out, or if I will do talking in the video, like voiceover. I'll definitely figure it out. You guys can let me know if you have a preference, but I would love to share more of my photography and my art in that channel, in my vlogging. I love film photography. I definitely want to share some of my projects. You know, I'll post some of my photos here for you so you could see. I definitely prefer film photography. The kind of photography I personally enjoy doing is portrait photography, but I like doing conceptual portrait photography. So something that has a story or meaning to it. In university, because I did do a photography major for my senior project for my gallery show, I did a series inspired by the Dakota Access Pipeline, the Standing Rock protest. So my series, it's pretty much, I'll post it here. It's pretty much, you know, what if Earth incarnated in physical form? What would her experience be during an oil spill, basically? So how would her existence manifest after an oil spill? So that was one of my favorite series. And I also did another series. I did 2 projects for the show. The other series I did was inspired by Art Nouveau. So I could also post that here. I did a combination of digital art and photography, and I printed all of my photos on canvas, and then I kind of painted a little bit on the canvas, and I also added some gold on it. So yes, I like to do this sort of mixed media. And for my photography business, you know, when I have a client, I enjoy doing both digital photography as well as film photography for my clients. So I do take several cameras with me when I'm doing a photo shoot. I should definitely share my camera collection. Maybe I'll do that for the vlog channel. But yeah, I'm so sorry. I know you've asked me several times to, you know, share more of my photography. I just don't feel like it works with this channel, since this channel is focused on gaming. So that's why I decided to start a new channel. So I will definitely share that channel once, you know, I start posting on there. So for those of you who are interested in following my vlogging channel, you guys could follow me there. Young Savage, when's your birthday? My birthday is next month, June 11th. So for this year, Stellar Blade, the PC release, is coming out on my birthday. So I am a Gemini. Yes, June 11th. Alex Farley, what's the first video game you fell in love with? It better be Kingdom Hearts. That's exactly what it was. Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was definitely the game that truly made me fall in love with gaming. I always enjoyed gaming even before Kingdom Hearts, but when Kingdom Hearts came out, I was like, oh, I love it. That made me really fall in love with story-based games, I think. Yeah, because before I always loved, you know, rhythm games, dancing games, fighting games, but Kingdom Hearts really made me fall in love with story-based games. And at the time, I truly loved the combat in Kingdom Hearts. That's so funny. Joseph, best icon fight in Final Fantasy 16. My choice is either Bahamut or Leviathan. Oh my gosh, so many incredible icon fights. I definitely love Bahamut. I loved Bahamut. Especially everything that happened after the Bahamut fight. What happened after the Bahamut fight that I was waiting for the entire game. That just, you know, it really broke my heart when it came to the brothers, you guys know. I also absolutely loved the fight that Clive had with himself, you know, Ifrit and also his shadow self. Oh, I know that wasn't an icon fight, his shadow version, but I really loved that fight. It was so emotional. Leviathan was amazing too. The music for Leviathan was great. I got really annoyed with Leviathan. It was hard. So I can imagine when I start my Final Fantasy mode playthrough, I'm gonna be so annoyed with Leviathan. Honestly, I really enjoyed all of the icon fights. They were just so epic. I loved Garuda, and also the music for the Odin fight was amazing. But I think my favorite was probably Bahamut and the Ifrit fight where Clive fought with himself. Yeah, those were my favorite. Ugh, I love Final Fantasy 16 so much. Convex Metal, you check out the Fallout show. I have not. You know, since I've been so focused on my channel, I haven't been watching a lot of things. TV and movies, I just haven't really made the time to watch shows or movies. Occasionally I will watch stuff, but I definitely should watch Fallout. I am so behind, y'all. There's a lot of shows and stuff that I need to catch up on. So yes, Fallout. I know I definitely need to watch The Last of Us, but before I watch The Last of Us, I need to play the game. Oh, there's a lot, isn't there? Ray Sleeves, what's your favorite game of all time? I've said it so many times, it's Final Fantasy 16. Are there any other my favorite games? Yeah, I pretty much listed a lot of my favorite games. Grease, Neva, Kingdom Hearts series, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Some of my older favorite games, besides Kingdom Hearts, I loved Air Gaze. I also loved Bust a Groove. I love rhythm games as well. None of them come to mind though. But yes, those are my favorite games. I know I've answered it so many times. Fight to the end. Do you like tattoos? I do. I don't have any. If I were to get a tattoo myself, I really like the dainty, thin line tattoos. I could definitely post some examples on here, but I'm mostly a piercing person. So you guys have probably seen I have a ton of piercings on my ear. I have a belly button piercing, my nose. I would like to get more piercings on my ear if I can. But yes, I don't have tattoos. I love them on other people, but I don't think I'll get a tattoo myself. I honestly don't feel like I can make up my mind. There have been times where I was considering getting some, but you know, I can't make up my mind on a placement and what I want. I feel like I would probably draw my own tattoo if I can. It would definitely have a spiritual meaning to it. And you know, some of the places I thought of was like in the center here. I've thought of here on my back, like my spine. But yes, I don't think I'll get a tattoo. I can't make up my mind, you know? To Marcus, how's your week been? My week has been stressful. Actually, the past couple of weeks have been quite stressful since I've been setting up for my live stream. You know, once I finally made the decision to live stream on my anniversary, I didn't realize how close it was coming up. I think last time I checked, it said 10 days or something before my anniversary, and I was like, oh crap, I need to get things ready. I need to set things up. So yes, I've been just so focused on setting everything up, which is why I haven't been posting some videos recently. I've just been so focused on getting my stream set up. But I've been so stressed because things have just not been working out. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties. Once I get something working, then something else would stop working, and then I would fix that, and then something else would stop working. And I was like, what is going on? And I was really stressing out, thinking that I wouldn't be able to stream on my anniversary, but I think things are starting to work out, so I should be able to get things working. How are you? You recently graduated. Congratulations. So how has life been since you finished school? Please let me know. xking.trxppy, what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received? Ooh, that's hard. Okay, I think this was during one of my spiritual retreats. I have shared before that I have been on a couple of ayahuasca retreats. They have been the most profound experiences I've ever had. And, you know, when you go to these retreats, you're really opening up about your situation, about your life, what you're going through, and the people around are just so patient and understanding and just willing to listen to you, and it's just such a safe space. I tend to be really hard on myself and thinking that I'm way behind on life, way behind, and that I'm not doing enough. But you know, the facilitators there would just, you know, tell me that just to be patient with myself. I am perfect where I'm at in life. Even if I feel behind, I'm definitely not. I am on my own timeline. You know, we are all on our own timelines. I know society can make us feel like we are not doing enough, or we're just behind, and we're supposed to be doing things at a certain age. You should already be accomplished at some things, but things are working out how they're meant to work out in my life. Understand that whatever I'm going through, I am strong enough. Because, you know, sometimes when we're going through our darkest moments, we feel like, you know, we can't get through this, or we'll never get past this hurdle. But I truly feel that no matter what you're going through, you are strong enough to get past it and to grow. I don't know, I've said this maybe once or twice, but when I was younger, you know, I struggle with mental health issues, right? And I've had plenty of times where I felt like I did not think I would get emotional. But I did feel many times in life that I didn't want to exist. But I always felt like there was a voice in me that was telling myself to keep going, but because I am meant for something bigger, you know? And so yes, they were saying that the work that I'm doing spiritually is so important. Because it really helps to heal the younger version of myself. So yes, the younger version of myself that, you know, never received the love that she craved, or, you know, all of that. Me doing this work is helping that version of me to heal. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I should also stop saying sorry for crying, but I was not expecting to get emotional. So yeah. Hopefully I answered that question, but yes, thank you for your question. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, boy oh boy. It isn't a video without teary sage, right? Alright. Smarty.Holdino's. Okay, the Quarry versus Until Dawn. Which one do you like more? I think I like the Quarry more. Only because I preferred the characters more. I felt like they were more of a friend group. You know, compared to Until Dawn. Until Dawn, I honestly didn't like many of the characters, and I felt like the dynamic between the characters were kind of weird. It didn't really feel like a genuine friend group. I felt like with the Quarry, the characters, the dynamic of the characters was more genuine, and I definitely preferred the characters there, and I also had more fun playing it. Yeah, I know a ton of people love Until Dawn. I did enjoy playing it, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy playing it, and I love the story, and it's unique, you know, the connection to the Native American indigenous folklore with the Wendigo and all of that. I love that because you don't hear that often. But yes, I love the vibes of the Quarry and I love Dylan. He really made it enjoyable for me. So yeah. Georgio.Blooms, what are your 3 favorite games of all time and why? I've said it so many times already. But my 3 most favorite games, of course, Final Fantasy 16, Kena Bridge of Spirits, and the third one, very hard to choose, but I do love Avatar as well. Final Fantasy 16, I love the characters. I loved the music. Oh, the music, the emotions it really brought out of me. You know, all their characters are just amazing. I grew so attached to the characters of Final Fantasy 16. And I loved Clive. The visuals were so beautiful. The iconic fights, the combat, I loved it. Kena Bridge of Spirits, as I said earlier, Kena Bridge of Spirits is just me in a game. I loved everything, the connection, the spiritual connection, healing nature. You get to restore nature. I love the combat and the representation of, you know, the culture, and the music is amazing. It's one of my favorite gaming soundtracks. And then Avatar, I love Avatar. You know, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It was my first, I'm unfamiliar with first-person point of view, first-person shooter, but I got to grow a lot with that game. And I just loved exploring in Pandora. I love the soundtrack as well. Oh my gosh, the soundtrack. I bought the collector's edition. It was my first ever collector's edition, and I also bought the soundtrack on vinyl. And yes, it was such a great experience playing that game. I think it was the longest playthrough I have on my channel. So I absolutely loved that game. I know not many people play it or have a playthrough on YouTube, especially the DLCs. But yeah, it was an absolute great experience I had with Avatar. And the final question, I'm 34 and I've been a gamer since I was 4. How long have you been gaming? About the same. I was a gamer, man, I really don't remember when I first started gaming, but I was definitely very, very young. Yeah, as I said, I'm a millennial, so I grew up with the old school PC games, the handheld games, gaming consoles, Sega. And as I said, I'm in my 30s. So yes, I've been pretty much gaming around the same time. around the same time as you. So yes, millennial gang. Oh, the chickens are here. Awesome. So yes, that is my first Q&A video. Again, I am so sorry it took forever. I'm so sorry it took forever. I would definitely love to do another Q&A video in the future. You know, maybe once I gain, I don't know, more subscribers, I could definitely do another Q&A video. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. You guys get to, you know, learn more about me. Again, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for your support. I am so grateful, so grateful for all of you, and grateful that I get to share my love of gaming with all of you. Yes, I love connecting with you guys, and I cannot wait to start streaming consistently so I can chat with you guys and chill out, you know? So thank you so much for being here with me, and I shall catch you guys in the next video. Bye!